monitoring Twitter?
TweetDeck.
Okay.
All right, we are live. Hello, all that's joining us here at 8:15. We'll be getting started shortly. We'll be throwing some links in Google Plus as well as links in Twitter. We'll give a few more minutes for us to get started. Are we ready to rock and roll, fellas?
Ready.
All right, we have Dan Kaufman and Rick Lappy and myself, Chris McCaffrey, all from Wilson School District. Tech coaches here helping our district grow and with Google Apps for education. We decided to do a series of Hangouts. This is the first episode. We're dealing with Chrome. I didn't know Chrome could do that. Why don't you guys say hi and say whatever you like, fellas?
All right. I'm Dan Kaufman. I'm one of the instructional technology coaches at Wilson, and yeah, I'm pretty pumped to learn about Chrome. And also, don't forget to head over to Twitter for the hashtag GEG Eastern PA. That's where we'll be hosting a little chat and throwing some information out there. Also, feel free to comment on the event page, which will be archived on the tinyurl.com/GEG Eastern PA webpage.
Yeah, and thanks for the intro, Chris. And we're obviously all excited to be here and share out some of the stuff we're doing and hopefully all growing together. So looking forward to a great night and obviously kicking it off with the Google Ninja Chris McCaffrey.
One tooth less ninja. So if I start drooling, just let me know. I had some implants surgery yesterday, so my face is a little swollen, but we'll go with it today. I'll just kind of start off with sharing the screen, and these guys will be on Twitter as well as in the event page of the Google Plus that we're on. Can you guys see the GEG Hangout on Air doc?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, this is kind of where we're going to house all these episodes. So the first one, again, is I didn't know you could do that. We'll basically have at the bottom is the agenda for tonight, and this will move down as we get into the next episode, which happens to be on the 27th, G Drive to Efficiency, looking at tips and tricks and apps to make working in Google Drive a little bit more efficient and more effective too as well. And that'll be kind of run through Rick Lappy, the man, the myth, the legend. One of our other facilitators is in here tonight is Rachel Davies, tech coach here at Wilson as well. She'll be joining us in later Hangouts on Air. So we're going to just get right to it. Some of the couple cool things we can kind of show you right off the bat is if you haven't known a tool called Game About Squares. I'm just going to hop back to level 0, and it's basically like an exploratory logic puzzle. Rick, Dan, you seeing everything okay?
You got it.
All right. So basically it's kind of self-explanatory, just moving blocks to different dots to move on to different levels, and it progressively gets harder. We always talk to teachers about classroom management, and having tools like this at your disposal when there's some downtime in the classroom is a really nice way to keep kids occupied, but yet also engage them into logical thinking. Incredibox is another one we like to share out too. It's kind of a fun little tool. I'll just use version 1 just to consider it I'm screencast or sharing my screen and doing a Hangout on Air. But basically, it's a tool that allows you to mix up music and beats and rhythms, and the more beats and rhythms you put together, the higher level you can go and score and then share. Kind of just shows you how to do it here with a little quick tutorial. So I can just drag in different instruments and then bring in another one and so you get the idea there. That's Incredibox. Really fun tool for kids to play with, and again, we'll be throwing these out in the GEG Eastern hashtag on Twitter, as well as we threw them into the event page for this. I didn't know it could do that too as well. If you would like to join us, if you do go to the event page, which is linked at the top of this document here at tinyurl GEG Eastern PA, you can click the join link, or you can just go directly to the watch link. So tinyurl.com/GEG Eastern PA will get you to this document where all the resources are. So feel free to hop in, or just go to the event page and ask some questions. Again, Rick and Dan will be helping us out on the back end of things tonight. Also, too, if you do a tweet tonight referencing this Hangout on air, we will give you a Quattro pen from Google. It still has its nubs on the end, so it's brand new. We'll send it out to you, so feel free to do some hashtagging on Twitter, again at GEG Eastern PA, and get a chance to win this pen. So the first thing we're going to kind of go over is tab management, and then Chrome menu, get into some shortcuts, a little commercial break on Gmail shortcuts, and then some Omnibox tips and tricks throughout this Hangout on air, and then wrap it up with some fun stuff at the end, and apps and extensions and things like that. So without further ado, we'll just get right to it. Many people don't know, if you do have a tab open, you accidentally close it. CtrlShiftT is a quick way to reopen that tab that you just closed. Really all that's doing is accessing the Chrome menu's history tab and the recently closed tab. So you can see I had Incredibox and Game About Squares open, and CtrlShiftT is the shortcut. Another one that we use a lot too is iterate through your tabs. So if you hit Control-Tab, it just basically rotates between your open tabs, and Control-Shift-Tab goes the opposite direction. So that's a nice little shortcut. As well as Control-1 opens your first tab, Control-2 goes your second tab, Control-3 opens your third tab. Again, if you had some more tabs open, if I had Game About Squares and Incredibox, again, I could iterate through those tabs pretty quickly without touching my touchpad. We're real big on shortcuts because the less times you touch your touchpad, the quicker you are online and more efficient you are too as well. Another quick little feature that many people maybe not know about is if you click and hold down the back button, it'll show you your history of your pages that you've clicked on. So on this particular tab, I have 2 I can hop back to, or if I had more, I'd show more, and I can even show full history. Another little tip to this is if you don't want to lose the actual tab you're on, if you do Control-click the back button, it'll open up that last tab that was here, but open it up in its own tab, and you wouldn't lose the tab you're actually on. So again, by clicking Control while clicking back, it'll open up another page tab, but to the last one you were at too as well. That's what we did there. Pinning tabs, many people might know this. You can pin tabs. However, if you are online, like at images.google.com, and I search for trees, and I want to drag this tree over to that Google document to drop it in there, since the tab is actually pinned, it doesn't let me do that. It's one thing that kind of bugs me because I love to pin tabs, especially when I'm working on an agenda or some information and I'm dragging things over to it. I have to unpin it to actually drag that image down into the document or presentation or drawing or what have you to actually drop it in. So unpinning tabs in order to drop images in. Hopefully you know you can slide tabs around and organize them in different orders, so you're not doing the old tennis match of looking at one tab and coming over to this tab and back to this tab again, where you can slide them through each other so that you have the correct order of tabs so you can work a little quickly again. Open up again a couple more tabs that I have. Incredibox there and Game About Squares again. So I have several different tabs open here. I have 6 different tabs. If I just want to pull out, say, Incredibox and Game About Squares and this tree tab, if I click on the first tab that I want to pull out, hold down Control, click on the second tab that I want, and then hold down Control and click and hold. Oops, I let go. So tab, Control, click, and then Control, click, and hold, and then pull down. It'll pull all 3 of those tabs out individually into one window. I can snap it back in there. So again, if I click on a tab, hold down Control, click on another tab, continue to hold down Control, click on another tab, but don't let go, and I pull down, it'll collect all 3 of those tabs together. A little bit more trickier to get a hold of those But once you do it a couple times, it's not too bad. Another little shortcut there is if I want to grab, say, from Incredibox all the way down to trees, I can click on the first one and then holding Shift now, click and hold on the last one and drag down, and it'll collect all the ones in between that first tab and the last tab that I've clicked out into its own window. So again, first one, hold down Shift, I'll pull out those 3 this time, and then those come out by themselves. Click, hold Shift, pull down, and now I can slide it back in. Another little quick tip, if I say want to pull out the I didn't know event page as well as the trees holding Control, I can put them down, and then maybe if I Control Tab over, I'll pull out another one just so I have several different windows open. So I have all these windows open. So if I want to, let me get to the other one, there we go. If I want to pull out Incredibox and my GEG agenda and Game About Squares, again I click on the first one, hold Shift, and as I have them, if I go to Control Tab, I can iterate through which window I want to throw these into, and then I can snap them in. So that's a little bit more advanced too. Holding Control Tab iterates through your open windows. You guys okay back there?
You're doing great, Chris.
All right, just didn't know if anyone's still there with me.
Yep, we're good. We're good.
All right. So a lot of people call this Chrome menu over here, so that's done with our tab management area. Again, guys, if you need to hop in and add anything I may have missed, feel free to do so. But this menu, some people call it the hamburger menu or hot dog menu. Some people who have a desktop or a laptop might like to create a shortcut to, say, Gmail. So if I have Gmail open, I want to make a desktop shortcut. A lot of people don't know how to do that exactly. In the Chrome menu or the hamburger menu, if I go to more tools, I'm on a Chromebook right now. It tells me add to shelf. If I was on a PC laptop or a MacBook or a desktop, it would say add to desktop there, and it would make an icon for you. So you could launch Gmail from your desktop or launch Google Drive or what have you. So in Chrome you can do that as well. This game of Squares keeps popping up. I want to play it. The other thing many people don't know about is Chrome saves your passwords, which many people know it does, and it's real convenient, but they might not know where to find those. So if you go to the Chrome menu and you go to Settings, the settings of a Chromebook and settings of a laptop who's running Chrome might be a little bit different, but if you basically go to the search settings area and just type password in, it'll look through all the settings to find all the occurrences of the word password. And then down here at the very bottom is Manage Passwords. And that'll pull up all the passwords that Google Chrome has remembered for you. So you can scroll through here, and if you click on one, say for, I don't know even what this website is. If I click on peoplefolio.com, and if I hit show, it's actually going to show me my password. The one thing I don't like about with Chromebooks, if I do hit show, it doesn't prompt me for a password. So if students know this, they could get into a teacher's Chromebook and hit show and see some passwords to gradebook, email, what have you. If you are on a laptop or a MacBook, it does prompt you to enter a password for that device. So a little caveat. Also, you ever enter in a bad password, you can come in here and then go in and X out that password so it won't remember it again for you. So a nice feature of the Chrome browsers, remembering passwords.
Yeah, I see that a lot when you have to have a quarterly password change and things aren't synced up. It's a good place to go to. I send teachers there quite a bit to delete those old passwords if they're not synced.
Yeah. Another nice little feature of bookmarks is hopefully you can do Control-Shift-B. There's a little shortcut to show them and hide them. But you can actually bookmark new documents, new sheets, new slides, new drawings, actually create them from a bookmark rather than in navigating to Google Drive and going to New and then Create. So what you can do is actually copy this text. If you go here, if I go to docs.google.com create, it is actually going to create myself an untitled document. So I can't bookmark that. So if you're on a new tab or any page and you go to bookmark it, you can go ahead and go into Edit and then paste in that URL, docs.google.com/create, or let me go back to the next one so I can say new doc. Put it on my bookmarks bar so I don't lose it. So now that links me to a new document. When I click it, it actually creates a new document in my Google account. So these three or four, excuse me, will create a corresponding new sheet or new doc, new sheet, new slide, or new drawing. So again, it's a little difficult to set up in the fact that you have to just start out with a new tab and edit it and paste this in. But then once you do that, then you're all raring to go. Sometimes you're doing a lot of work online and you have a lot of tabs that are open, and then all of a sudden you're like, I ran out of time, I have to get back to this, whether it's for research or you're preparing for a lesson or what have you. So if these are all related tabs to something I'm working on, you could go around and individually bookmark them and then individually create a folder and then individually make sure they're all inside that folder. But Chrome makes it easy by just right-clicking, and then basically you can hit Bookmark All tabs. And what that's going to do for you is bookmark all those tabs and stick it to a folder that you'd like. So I could call this GEG Eastern PA, and then basically that'll make a bookmark folder on my bookmarks bar, which is down below now. There it is there. And then there's all the different links that I had open and automatically bookmarked into this folder. Again, I could drag that up to my bookmarks bar, delete this other one. Then when I right-click on that folder, if I'm getting back to work and all these things were closed and I wasn't really right where I left off from my research or my prepping for class, I can right-click on that folder and hit Open All Bookmarks. And that'll open all those bookmarks. I can even open them all in my own new window so that they're automatically open for me too. I know Rick uses that sometimes when he's getting ready for a session, so that when he goes to the session, he opens up all that stuff. Is that kind of how you use it a lot too, Rick?
Yeah, especially going to conferences and stuff like that. When I'm presenting there, I like to have all my information ready to go there. It's also important. It's kind of a Drive tip, but it's just a reminder you can add bookmarks to your Drive folders, to Drive files, and all of that stuff right on there. You want to be able to get to some of that stuff quickly from your Drive as well.
That's a great point, Rick, because my next kind of tip here is like when you're in Google Drive, a lot of times I work out of my start area as a hot plate item. For example, we have a Core Connections conference coming up in June. I was prepping for this GEG Hangout, Eastern PA. So all this stuff is kind of things that are on my hot plate. So I actually have a bookmark right to my Google Drive start area. So when I open up a new tab, I can just click my Google Drive icon over here, and you can kind of see once I float over it again. I don't know how that looks for you guys zoomed in. Let me unzoom, it's kind of getting glitchy. So when I click on this, it takes me directly into my Google Drive start area. But like Rick said, you can bookmark any folder if you want to, because that's just a website, so you can bookmark that too and throw it into a folder as well. So that other tip I was going to say, when you do bookmark a Google Drive folder, it's going to give you a name. So I'm bookmarking my classroom folder in Google Drive. So when it's done, then that bookmark becomes, rather long. It takes up a lot of space in my bookmark bar. So if I want to, I can right-click on that, hit Edit. And some people know that you can just say Class, so that's your classroom folder in Google Drive. But if it has an icon that's very distinctive, like my Gmail icon here, if you just right-click on any bookmark and hit Edit and just delete the name, then it'll just maintain its icon and you'll gain some space on your bookmark. Now again, notice the icons are the same for my start area and now my classroom, so that doesn't make sense here. But in many cases, like YouTube, Google+, TweetDeck, email, Google Keep, the icon's enough so you can really gain some space on your bookmark bar to hop around the web. And then again, using folders inside of folders really can help you stay organized with your bookmarks. Really one of the more underutilized features I see with many teachers is bookmarks, because I'll go to help them and you're like, just put a bookmark. How many times do you do those clicks to get to where you need to go? So there's that tip.
The photo, using the favicon really helps with real estate too. You notice how many bookmarks you have there.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how well that works.
Oh, and the other feature a lot of people forget, and this actually is part, I think, the level 1 exam, if I remember correctly, for the Google certification test, is in the Bookmark Manager itself. So in the Chrome menu underneath Bookmarks, if you go to Chrome or the Bookmark Manager, Up at the top right hides a little search your bookmark. So if you know you bookmark something, and many times you put it into a folder that you forget exactly where you put it. So if I search technology, for instance, it'll search all my bookmarks for the word technology. So that little tidbit, a lot of people don't remember that that's there, or don't even know it's there inside the Bookmark Manager. I'll put that right in here. We doing all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Many times you might type in a bad, like maybe you do YouTube, but you spell it wrong, and every time now you go to type U or Y, this Y tube comes up. Oh, by the way, don't ever go to the actual letter YouTube. It's very inappropriate. But say if you type that, now every time you go to type YouTube, this thing pops up. So if you use the little shortcut Shift Backspace, it's a little different on a Mac. It's like Function Shift Backspace or something like that. I have to look that up, but I forget. That's a way you can take out a bad entry in your address bar Omnibox for your suggested websites to go to. So now when I type YouTube, that YU doesn't show up. Actually, YouTube shows up down below first. So that can get you out of a frustrating issue of typing in a bad URL once and it always popping up too as well. Oops, like that. I didn't want to go to soccer.com. I just wanted to search for soccer. Another quick tidbit is this works in any browser. If you have a link that you want to open up and you want to check many links without losing your search results, you can hold down Control when you click, and that just opens it up in its own new tab rather than losing your search results. That's the same as if you right-clicked and hit Open a new tab again. It's just a little quicker holding down the Control.
I believe if you hold Shift, it'll open up in a new window, and if you hold, no, never mind. Yeah, Shift should open it up in a new window. I was thinking there was a way to open it up in an incognito window, but I don't know that there is.
I don't think so, but Shift does open it up in its own new window. Control-Shift-N allows you to open up in a incognito window, but we have that blocked on our domain, so I'm not able to do it on my GAF account. Some real quick short ones people use a lot. Control-Shift-T opens up a new tab, or excuse me, Control-T. Control-Shift-T opens up your most recently closed tab. Control-W closes a tab. It amazes me all the time that many people don't know about Control-F. Control-F allows you to find keywords. So if I type on a web page a word, it'll search for it. So if I type Dan, it should pick up all the instances of Dan on this document. This is not unique to Google Documents. This is just part of the Google document search. But if I'm on Wikipedia, English. So I'm on this featured article. I don't know, Aquaman. If I do Control F, the browser itself will come up with a search engine for you on that page and show you all the instances along the right-hand side of where Aquaman shows up. Another nice tidbit that our students should know how to do when doing research and trying to find information related to what they're researching about. Because a lot of times there's so much stuff on our web page that's a quick way to get to what you're looking for. Many people know Control-C and Control-V, Control- and plus.
Yeah, I'll throw in there with Control-C, I use Control-A a lot to grab the entire URL or something like that. If I'm in the Omnibox, Control-A will grab the whole thing, and then Control-C. It's one of those things, the more time you spend on your keyboard and away from your mouse or your touchpad, the faster you'll be. So it's worth it to learn those shortcuts.
And Dan is our king of shortcuts. And I always feel good when I teach him one that he doesn't know.
I'll tell. There's another one, Control-L, I use all the time. If you're in a document or a web page, Control-L gets you right up into the Omnibox and highlights the entire URL. So that's a keeper.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start using that one more. Due to time constraints, we're probably just going to skip this since it's only the three of us in here anyway. We'll skip the game on the shortcuts. I know you guys are pretty sad about that.
I just want to hear the Kahoot music.
Well, we can do that. Does it play on this screen? There you go.
There we go. Just in time for the commercial.
Yeah. FYI, hide Kahoot games in your text document by changing the text the same color as the background.
All right. So that's what I kind of have here. The background of this page, if it was white, would be hidden from your students. The problem is if they see you do that one time, they will actually hunt and peck on everything you share with them for anything in white text anymore. So if you're going to use this trick, make sure you mute your screen or something like that so they don't see actually clicking on the white text. But yeah, I do use that a lot to hide things from people in sessions and things like that.
Nice little Easter egg for gamification as well.
Oh yeah, what do you mean by that?
Oh, you can hide stuff in your documents for your kids to find. I know one of our greats, Greg Brooks, does that a lot. He hides links in there. The kids find them. It's kind of a nice little secret Easter egg. So going with gamification allows the kids to kind of search for stuff, but they end up looking through and reading a lot more of their work than they usually do, trying to find those nice little hidden Easter eggs.
Good stuff, Mr. Brooks. So real quickly, if you enable shortcuts in Gmail, if you go to settings, this is our little commercial break we're going to have here, shifting gears for you. If you go down in the settings of Gmail, you can turn keyboard shortcuts on. And if you also don't know this, you should know this. It's just a bonus because I saw it. Enable undo send. That allows you to undo an email that you sent up to 30 seconds. So if you do turn keyboard shortcuts on, you must hit Save Changes in your Gmail. And then once you do that, there's all a bunch of different shortcuts. Like C brings up your Compose box. If you do Shift-C, it opens up the Compose box, but inside its own window that is independent of Gmail's window. If you're inside a email, if you hit R, it's a quick way to hit reply. If you hit F, you can guess what that'll do. It'll forward it to somebody. If it's a conversation with many people, if you hit A, it'll reply all. Oh, the other one I use all the time is E. That's the archive. There's nothing worse than when you're like clicking things, and now I got to go up here and archive it. But I can just click on things and then hit E, and it'll archive for me too as well.
I use Control-Enter a lot. When I'm done with an email, it'll send it.
Right. So if you're in an email, hello to myself, I can type it and then hit Control-Enter, and it'll send it on its way. And there's my undo. That undo stays up there for 30 seconds. If I go somewhere else, it'll disappear, but I have 30 seconds to hit that undo so it doesn't get sent to that person if you forgot an attachment or forgot to include someone. Any other quick hitters in Gmail?
Just the fact that usually you won't forget an attachment because if you type attachment, it tells you if you forget it, which is just a wonderful feature in Gmail.
Mm-hmm. So if you say see the attachment and forget to attach, it'll warn you. If you want to learn these two, those shortcuts in Gmail, there's a little extension called KeyRocket that as you're doing things, it'll pop up a little message on the right-hand side and said, hey, you could have done that with this shortcut. So one of the ones I always forget about. Hold on, something's going on.
You're good now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, my thing's frozen now.
I think that's a F5.
Hold on. It was my Kahoot quiz.
Wonder how you mute that tab. Wonder if we'll learn that.
Am I still on with you guys?
Yeah, we're good now. Yeah, everything's back up.
All right, so that's kind of wacky. Auto Text Expander is another one that you can actually create custom keyboard shortcuts. So you could type letters like TL, and then it could spit out a whole email for you. So it just auto expands. So you can create custom keyboard shortcuts to write emails if you wanted to, kind of like canned responses too. Yeah, we'll probably be getting into email at some other time. All right, we're going to wrap things up with a little bit of Omnibox stuff, and we're not going to get into all this stuff here. So for example, if a website has a search engine on it, so if you go to like Craigslist, and excuse me, I must have wiped that one out. So if I go to YouTube and it pops up youtube.com, if I hit tab, that allows me just to search for instance, MMW is a jazz band. So I can search directly from the Omnibar YouTube. So I just have to start typing it. As soon as I see the .com, I hit enter, and it uses the search feature on that website. You can even edit those search engines. If you just right-click inside the Omnibox itself, you can go down to Edit Search Engines. And these are websites that you visited before that have search features built into it. So Airbnb, I went to it before. AliceKeeler.com has a search engine. So again, if I would just go to Alice Keeler and it pops up .com, I hit tab. Now I can search for her 50 tips on Google Classroom, and it actually goes to her website directly, searching for the word 50 tips. So you get the idea there. You can edit those search engines too. So if you use something a lot, Craigslist I changed. So I can actually go in here and change Craigslist to CL. So now anytime I type CL and hit tab, it's actually searching Craigslist for me. So you can actually edit those search engines to have them have a shortcut key that works for you if you use a search engine on some website a lot. Maybe you're a math teacher, you want to do that at GeoGebra 2. You could put Geo, tab, and it'll search GeoGebra 2 for you directly from the inbox or the Omnibox. Many people know that you can search for the area of a circle. If I type area of a circle, it'll pop up like a little area of a circle calculator you enter in. Or if I did a surface area of a sphere, or maybe I'll do a cone, it'll pop up a little tool that you can put in the radius and the height, and it'll calculate for you. So there's a bunch of links here in the agenda to different ways you can do that. Hopefully you know you can also flip a coin. So if I say flip a coin in the Omnibox, it'll actually bring up a flip of a coin, heads or tails, roll a die. Again, it'll roll a 6-sided die. You can roll it again here too as well. Timer, many people know about the timer. So if I just do timer 2 minutes, it'll pop up a timer for me automatically. I can go to full screen here. I can go to stop, reset it. There's even a stopwatch versus the timer. One thing that I like to show teachers is eggtimer.com. And then you can just hit go for 5 minutes. The nice thing about this is it becomes a web link. So I can actually take this link and put it into a kid's document and say, you know, you have 5 minutes to work on this part of the project, and make a link to that egg timer. Now when the kid comes here and he clicks that, now he has a timer that's running in another tab that he can see count down over here. And it sounds like an egg timer when you're done, so it's not too obtrusive. You can kind of see it coming down that way, and maybe I'll let you hear what it sounds like. So kind of annoying sound, but it allows the kids to kind of manage their own time by putting links throughout the project. Do a barrel roll is kind of fun. When you search do a barrel roll, it actually does a barrel roll for you. Google in 1998, you can actually see what 1998 Google looks like. A little different. Zerg Rush is like a game. Google Gravity askew is kind of fun. Basically puts everything askew when you're doing a Google search. So other ones are fun there. This one I learned a little bit ago. You can say like Gmail, and then it basically creates an email, or a link that tells people how to get to do something. It's kind of fun to find something if they didn't know how to get somewhere or find something out. It gives you a little video you can share. Location, if you search for this, you have to have a personal account, and it actually shows you where you were. I can do location, history, in Google. I'll go to images since I can't do it on this school district account. So it actually shows you where you've been if you've had your phone location on. It actually drills you down on a Google map and by day and by time of where you are, which is kind of neat, especially if you have teenage kids and you know their Google account. You could actually see where they're going. You guys don't have to worry about that, but I'm getting too close to that world right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty close too.
Also, the Omnibox can handle JavaScript. So if you know some JavaScript, you can type it in here. So one of the ones that I've used before is you actually turn any tab into a editable notepad, if you will. Again, I've seen people bookmark this, and then you can create a real quick notepad real quickly. Generally, I would just make a doc and type in there, but you know, this also could be useful. There's many ways to do this. There's 2 different ways there too as well.
And just to throw in those Omnibox tips and tricks that Chris mentioned, a lot of those, if you're on a Chromebook especially, you can use OK Google for if you turn that on. So I know we had a lot of fun playing with that a couple of the days, and using OK Google to start a timer from anywhere in the room, or like Dan talked about, translating into Spanish if you have an ESL student.
Why don't you try it? I have OK Google on, see if it works for you.
OK Google.
Maybe because I'm sharing my screen, it won't happen. Just something interesting.
It does work, though. I mean, it does.
Mm-hmm. The other one that you might not know is Chrome has been rumored to be redesigned for almost 2-3 years now. When you started seeing Android kind of intrude upon things like Google Classroom, kind of the same look and feel. So this kind of shows you the kind of mock-up of what Google Chrome could look like. So this is like the settings area, so I can get into my Wi-Fi's and change languages if I wanted to, download locations. These are just basically my settings, but again, just in a different interface-looking Chrome. So who knows when this will come out, but it kind of gives you that Google Classroom, new Google Form look and feel to it. And my man Dan probably showed me this one and is one of my favorites now. Chrome flags are basically experiments that you can turn on, and also notice there's a big warning sign here. So these are experimental features and can break Chrome.
That just means they're really good tools. You gotta try them.
So at any time, if things aren't working, if you can get back to this website or web page, you can hit reset the default. If you're on a laptop or MacBook, you might need to reinstall Chrome, uninstall and reinstall. But the one that we like a lot is called Audio. Which one is it? Tab Audio. So what this does is, say if I'm on a YouTube video,
or a restaurant looking at a menu. I don't know why they always have music playing.
So let's just pretend I'm on House is a good one to listen to. So this music's playing and it's a little too loud or something like that, or someone comes in. Instead of me having to go here and hit stop on the video, I can just go up in the tab and click the audio, and it mutes that audio for me. And then when I'm done my conversation, I can turn it back on and rock out. You guys dancing?
I was moving my feet.
Yeah, all right. So there's a ton more back here. I haven't played with all of them by any means. There is a link here in the doc to other things that you might want to check out to do some tweaking with. Again, just use at your own risk too. Did you guys have any flags or your favorites?
I just enable all of them. Just kidding. Don't do that.
I'm a little less exciting.
Just that audio one is I use it every day. I love it.
Yeah, so do I, now that I knew about it. More Chrome OS specific things. There is a task manager built into Chrome OS. If you just right click on top on the Chrome browser, you can open up Task Manager, and it just shows you what's running. So you can see that my Chromecast extension's running, my music, Google Music's running in the background. So this is your old school task manager you used to have to use all the time with a Windows-based PC to kill some processes. Generally, you don't have troubles with Chromebooks. Generally, you just refresh the web page or restart it. You're back online in less than 30 seconds. But maybe you need to dig a little deeper because maybe some extension's really messing you up or something. So there is a task manager. Our kids can get to that, can't they?
I don't know.
No, either. I imagine they can because they can kill things, but not much more than that. There is a command line interface built into Chrome OS, so if you do Control-Alt-T, it takes you to that interface that you can do some different commands if you're really getting geeky. So like you could ping google.com and do some networking stuff on the back end here as well. So again, if you really want to geek out with flags and the cross system, we got it for you here. That's basically our episode for tonight, but I do want to remind you of some couple of things. Episode 2 will be airing and run by the Lapidapt Rick Lappy on 4/27 at 8:15. It'll be in the same GEG location. The Hangout will be focused on tips, tricks, apps to improve Google Drive efficiency. We're really going to concentrate on the core apps here in these first couple episodes, and then we'll start to branch out. We're looking to pull in other teachers throughout our district who are using these tools with their students and really focusing on what they're doing really awesome in their classroom. So this is just the first one to get the ball rolling. Also, the GEG Eastern PA Coffee EDU is happening at Barnes & Nobles outside of Philadelphia on the 9th, this Saturday at 10 a.m., and that link will take you to more information about that, hosted by Corey Friedel and Phil Vinogradov, I believe, are going so far. And then also, if you can't get online, sometimes you see a little dragon above that. If you hit the space bar, you actually get to play a game. Again, Google's always hide little Easter eggs, as Rick has called them, in our gamification. So they hide that too there too as well. I know some people are like, why is there a dragon there? If you hit the space bar, you actually start to play some games. Down below are just some apps and extensions and things that we threw in here too, just in case we didn't have enough time, but it looks like we're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour, so it's about perfect for 45 minutes. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. If I can find out where the heck it went to. Yeah, I think I got kicked out when I refreshed, so...
well, while we're talking about Alt-Tab, hold Alt and keep pressing Tab to tab through your tabs. Nah, to tab through your windows.
There we go.
Alt-Tab tabs through your tabs. Alt-Tab will tab through your windows.
That's a lot of tabbing and alting.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully some people hashtagged out there. If you did, here's the pen that you'll get, and I know it's probably reversed. Is that reversed for you guys?
No. Nope, you're dead on.
It even has the tips still left on it. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Brand new spanking. It won't leak on you yet. Okay. Really good pen that we have for you. So hash it out, and we'll see you on the 27th.
All right, gentlemen, it's been real.
Adios.
Night.